Why does John Milbank, in agreement with Thomas Aquinas, so intensely want to allow for the possibility that creation is eternal? It's because he's relying on a deep instinct in pre-modern Christian, ancient Eastern thought. It's a thought, it's an assumption, it's a plank that you see in Origen. You probably see it in other thinkers like Gregory of Nyssa, although I cannot authoritatively state that. And it's this thought, this idea, this assumption that there's a deep analogy between creation on the one hand and the processions of the Trinity on the other. And in fact, you can say that creation is a procession out of God. It's an emanation out of God, to use that Neoplatonist language. And therefore, we can ask all sorts of questions about the processions. So, for example, the filiation of the Son. Did the filiation of the Son have a beginning? No. Did the filiation of the Son ever involve change? No. We can take questions like that and apply those to the doctrine of the Trinity. To the doctrine of creation. In other words, if the filiation of the Son never had a beginning, then it makes sense to say, maybe, that the creation never had a beginning. Now, against all of this, Bonaventure wants to say that actually creation / time, because Bonaventure wants to say that time is one of the four elements of creation, tempus. He wants to say that time had a beginning. It begins and it ends in God. What I'm trying to do in my dissertation is defend Bonaventure in that claim, and I do it based on the logic of story or mythos. And therefore, it's very important to me that Bonaventure takes scripture very seriously. Bonaventure allows the scriptures to shape his thinking in a way that Thomas Aquinas does not. Does that mean that Bonaventure is better than Thomas Aquinas? No, it does not. But kind of like John Milton allows the scriptures to shape his thinking, to stamp his thinking, to structure the very forms of his thought in a way that Dante does not. So also, I think that Bonaventure does that in contradistinction to Thomas Aquinas. You might say that Bonaventure and Milton are narratological thinkers in a way that Thomas Aquinas and Dante are not.